Commander Tom Park sat alone in his office, staring at the holographic display of Earth's defense grid. The blue light cast shadows across his tired face. For 3 years, he had led the Planetary Defense Initiative, preparing for this moment. The Navy invasion fleet would arrive in exactly 24 hours. "Commander, the final shield calibrations are ready for your approval," said his assistant through the intercom. "Send them through," Tom replied, his voice steady despite the weight on his shoulders. The shield was humanity's last hope. Based on reverse-engineered Navi technology from a crashed scout ship, it would create an energy barrier around Earth that could repel the invasion force. As the chief architect of the system, only Tanmin had the complete knowledge to activate it properly. His personal tablet chimed with a message. Probably Ju Yun checking when he'd be home. His wife had been understanding about his long hours lately, and their daughter Hae-Yun always waited up to see her father, no matter how late. But when he opened the message, his blood turned cold. The screen showed a video feed of Ju Yun and Hae-Yun sitting in a featureless metal room. They were unharmed but clearly frightened. Ju Yun's normally perfect hair was disheveled, and 8-year-old Hae-Yun clutched her mother's arm tightly. A distorted voice spoke. "Commander Park, we have your family. They will remain safe if you cooperate. Sabotage the shield activation sequence. Make it fail. If you alert anyone or attempt to rescue them, they will die. If the shield activates, they will die. You have 24 hours to decide, your family or your world." The message ended abruptly. Tae-min tried to trace it, but the signal had been expertly masked. His hand shook as he replayed the video, searching for any clue to their location. It had to be the Navi. Somehow they had infiltrated Earth, despite all their precautions. They knew the shield was their only obstacle, and they had found his weakness. Ta-min's office door slid open. Major Ji-woo walked in with a tablet of her own. "Commander, engineering reports the shield is at full capacity. We're ahead of schedule." Ji-woo paused, noticing his expression. "Is everything all right?" Ta-min quickly closed the message. "Yes, just tired. Good news about the shield." Ji-woo studied him for a moment. "You should rest. Tomorrow will be historic." "I'll try," he lied. Sleep was impossible now. After Ji-woo left, Ta-min locked his office door and frantically began searching through security feeds from around the base. Nothing seemed out of place. How had they taken Ju Yun and Hae-Yun? The family's apartment was inside the secure zone, protected by the best security systems on Earth. He called home. No answer. He checked the location tracking on their personal devices. Both showed they were at home, which meant the Navi had left the devices behind to avoid raising alarms. Ta-min pulled up the shield activation sequence on his secure terminal. It would be easy for him to introduce a fatal flaw that no one else would notice until it was too late. The shield would appear to activate, but would collapse when the Navi fleet attacked. Billions would die. But if he did nothing, Ju Yun and Hae-Yun would die. The thought of never seeing Hae-Yun smile again or feeling Ju Yun's arms around him broke something inside him. Yet how could he sacrifice humanity for 2 people, even if they were his whole world? Ta-min pulled up Ju Yun's research files. As a xenolinguist, she had been studying potential ways to communicate with the Navi if peaceful contact ever became possible. Perhaps there was something in her work that could help. Hours passed as he searched desperately for options. The base quieted as night fell, but lights stayed on in the command center where technicians prepared for tomorrow. Ta-min found himself holding the family photo from his desk. It was taken on Hae-Yun's 7th birthday at the beach, one of the few days he'd managed to take off work completely. Hae-Yun was laughing as a wave crashed around her knees. Ju Yun was looking at the camera with that smile that had first captured his heart 15 years ago. His terminal chimed. A priority message from General Yun, his superior. Final briefing at 600. Get some rest, Park. Tomorrow you save the world. Ta-min set down the photo and wiped his eyes. He had to find another way. He began examining the shield specs again, looking for a solution that would let him appear to sabotage the shield while actually ensuring it would work. If he could convince the Navy that he had complied, maybe he could buy time to find his family. As dawn approached, Tai Min made a decision. He couldn't sacrifice the world, even for those he loved most. But he also couldn't give up on them. He carefully modified the shield activation sequence, adding a hidden subroutine that would make the shield appear to malfunction during its powered-up phase. It would show all the signs of failure that would convince the Navy he had complied, but then would suddenly restore itself to full power when the attack began. It was a desperate gamble. If the Navy were watching closely enough, they would know he had tricked them before he could find his family. As the first light of what might be humanity's last day broke through his office window, Tai Min stared at the family photo once more. "I will find you," he whispered. "I promise." Tai Min slipped into his family's apartment after the briefing, careful to avoid being seen. The morning sun streamed through the windows, highlighting the emptiness where his family should be. Their breakfast dishes still sat in the sink from yesterday. Haeyum's stuffed rabbit lay forgotten on the couch. He moved quickly to Ju Yun's home office. If there was any clue to what had happened, it would be here. The Navy had been careful, but Tai Min knew his wife's habits better than anyone. Ju Yun's computer was untouched. Tai Min entered her password and began searching through her recent files. As Earth's leading xenolinguist, she had been studying potential Navy communication patterns for years. He scrolled through folders of research data until he found something unusual. A folder labeled Private that he had never seen before. Inside were audio recordings dated from 6 months ago. Tai Min played the first one, hearing Ju Yun's voice. Day 47 of unusual signal pattern. I've isolated what appears to be a repeating sequence. It's unlike anything in our database. If my theory is correct, this could be. Tai Min's heart raced as he played through more recordings. Ju Yun had discovered something she hadn't shared with anyone, not even him. In the most recent recording, her voice was excited. It worked. My response pattern triggered a new transmission. This isn't random noise, it's communication. I've established contact with something, or someone. Tai Min's hands trembled as he opened her research notes. Detailed diagrams showed how Ju Yun had identified patterns in what everyone else had dismissed as cosmic background radiation. She had discovered a hidden communication channel and had responded to it. She had made first contact with the Navi months before anyone knew they existed. A soft noise behind him made Tai Min spin around. The apartment was still empty, but his security instincts were on high alert. He quickly downloaded Ju Yun's files to his secure tablet and erased evidence of his search. Back in his office, Tai Min locked the door and examined the files more carefully. Ju Yun's breakthrough in quantum linguistics had allowed her to decode the Navi communications. According to her notes, she believed the signals weren't threatening. They were desperate pleas for help. One particular file caught his attention, a partial translation of a Navi message. Our star dying. Fleet carries last survivors, seeking new home. Peaceful intentions. Humanity's response determines. Tai Min sat back, stunned. The Navi weren't invaders. They were refugees fleeing the death of their star system. His tablet chimed with an incoming message. Another video of Ju Yun and Haeyum. This time, Haeyum was sleeping with her head on her mother's lap. Ju Yun looked directly at the camera, her eyes sending a message beyond her carefully controlled expression. The distorted voice spoke. Your shield will destroy our entire fleet. Billions of our children will die. Your wife understood us before anyone. She tried to help. Now you must help or lose them forever. The message ended, but not before Tai Min caught something in the background. A curved metal wall with distinctive markings. He recognized it from classified photos of the Navy scout ship interior. They were being held on a Navy vessel, possibly already in Earth's orbit. Major Jiwoo knocked on his door. Commander, the final systems check is starting. We need you in the command center. I'll be right there, Tai Min called. quickly hiding the files. In the command center, technicians worked at their stations, preparing the shield for activation. Screens showed the approaching Navy fleet, hundreds of massive ships carrying what Earth had assumed were invasion forces. But what if they were wrong? What if the shield didn't just repel the Na'vi but destroyed them completely? Zhu Yun's research suggested the shield's energy signature would cause a catastrophic reaction with Na'vi technology. It wouldn't be defense, it would be genocide. "Commander, we're ready for your authorization sequence," said a technician. Ta Min nodded, his mind racing. His modified shield program would appear to fail, but actually work, dooming the Na'vi and likely his family. "I need to make one final adjustment," he said. "Give me 10 minutes." In his office, Ta Min pulled up the shield specifications again. What if instead of failing or succeeding completely, the shield could be tuned to allow controlled entry? If the Na'vi were really seeking asylum, not invasion, perhaps there was a third option. Using Zhu Yun's translation data, he began reconfiguring the shield frequencies to create a narrow passage that would allow limited Na'vi ships through, a doorway instead of a wall. His tablet chimed again. This time, the message contained coordinates, a specific location in orbit where a small Na'vi vessel waited, where his family was being held. The message was clear. This was where he needed to go if he wanted to save them. Ta Min completed his modifications to the shield program. Tomorrow, when the main Na'vi fleet arrived, they would face a choice: approach peacefully through the designated entry point or be repelled if they attempted to force their way in. He sent a secure message to his home system, triggering a pre-arranged emergency protocol that would erase all evidence of Zhu Yun's research from their apartment. No one else could know what he had discovered until he was certain of the truth. As night fell over the base, Tai Min made his decision. He would need to find a way to reach that ship in orbit. He would need to learn the truth directly from the Na'vi. And somehow, he would need to convince humanity that their greatest perceived enemy might instead be their greatest opportunity. He looked out his window at the stars, wondering which light might be the ship where Zhu Yun and He Yun waited for him. "I'm coming," he whispered, "and I think I understand now." The command center hummed with activity as the countdown to the Na'vi fleet's arrival continued. Tai Min moved through the space with practiced calm, nodding to technicians who looked to him with hopeful eyes. None of them knew the war he was fighting within himself or the plan he had set in motion. "Commander, the shield modifications you requested have been implemented," reported a young technician named Da Hyun. "All systems are showing green." "Excellent work," Ta Min said, glancing at the main display showing Earth's defense grid powering up. What the team didn't know was that he had made additional changes to the system overnight. Changes that would create a narrow corridor through the shield, invisible to their monitoring systems. He needed to make the Na'vi believe he was cooperating while still protecting Earth. If he was right about the Na'vi being refugees rather than invaders, the corridor would allow a diplomatic vessel through while keeping the main fleet at bay until negotiations could begin. If he was wrong, he would still have time to close the gap. "Commander Park, a moment please," called Major Ji Woo from across the room. Her expression was unreadable as she led him to a side office. Once the door closed behind them, Ji Woo's professional demeanor shifted. "Something's not right with you, Commander. You've been acting strangely since yesterday." Tai Min maintained his composure. "We're all under pressure, Major. The fate of humanity rests on this system working correctly." "That's precisely my concern," Ji Woo said, sliding a tablet across the desk. "These are the system logs from last night. Someone accessed the shield's core programming at 300 hours. The changes were subtle, but I found them." Ta Min's heart raced, but his face remained calm. "I made some final optimizations, nothing that affects the shield's primary function." "Then why not inform the team?" Ji Woo pressed. "And why delete the access logs afterward?" Before Tai Min could answer, his personal tablet vibrated in his pocket. Another message from the Na'vi. He couldn't check it now, not with Ji Woo watching him so closely. The modifications are experimental, he said. I didn't want to create unnecessary concern. You know how the Oversight Committee reacts to last-minute changes. Jae-woo studied him, unconvinced. We've worked together for 3 years, Ta-min. I know when you're hiding something. His tablet vibrated again, more insistently. I need to prepare for the final briefing, Ta-min said, standing. We can discuss this after the shield is activated. As soon as he was alone in the hallway, Ta-min checked the message. It contained a video of Ha-yoon drawing a picture, her small face concentrated on her work. The camera panned to show Ju-yeon watching her daughter with tired eyes. A new voice spoke, different from the previous communications. This one was less distorted, almost gentle. Commander Park, I am Captain Sun-ho of the Navy Diplomatic Corps. Your wife has told me about you. She believes you are a man who will listen to the truth. Ta-min froze in the empty corridor. The Navy had a name, a human name. The message continued. Not all of us agree with taking your family. Some of us wanted peaceful contact from the beginning. Your wife's work helped us understand your language, your culture. We are not invaders. We are the last survivors of a dying world. The video showed a star chart depicting a supernova explosion. Our home system is gone. Billions already died. The ships approaching Earth carry our remaining population, mostly civilians, many of them children. Your shield will not just repel us. It will destroy us completely. We intercepted your weapons specifications. The resonance frequency will shatter our hull materials. Ta-min leaned against the wall, processing this confirmation of what Ju-yeon's research had suggested. There are factions among us, Sun-ho continued. Those who fear humanity want to take your planet by force. Those of us who have studied you through your broadcasts, your music, your art, we believe coexistence is possible. I have risked everything to contact you directly. The message ended with coordinates for a secure communication channel. Ta-min made his decision. He needed more information, and he needed to see if this Sun-ho was telling the truth. In a rarely used maintenance room, he established the connection. A humanoid face appeared on the screen. The Na'vi looked surprisingly similar to humans, though with silvery skin and large, dark eyes. Commander Park, said Sun-ho, thank you for trusting me enough to respond. I haven't decided to trust you, Ta-min replied. But I want to see my family. The camera shifted to show Ju-yeon and Ha-yoon in comfortable quarters, not the cold cell from earlier videos. Ta-min, Ju-yeon called, her face lighting up. Listen to me. What they're saying is true. I've been studying their language and history. They're refugees, not conquerors. Are you both safe? Ta-min asked, his voice tight with emotion. We're fine, Ju-yeon assured him. Captain Sun-ho has protected us from the military faction, but time is running out. Sun-ho returned to the screen. Commander, our main fleet will arrive in 12 hours. If the shield activates as designed, it will be a massacre. We need your help. And my family. Ta-min demanded. We'll be returned safely once we have assurance of peaceful reception. Sun-ho promised. I give you my word. After the call ended, Ta-min sat in silence. His modified shield program would allow the diplomatic vessel through, exactly as he had planned before knowing about the Na'vi factions. But now he had a new problem. Major Ji-woo was suspicious, and if she discovered the full extent of his modifications, she might override them. His tablet chimed with an alert. Ji-woo had called an emergency meeting of the senior staff to discuss security concerns. She was moving faster than he'd anticipated. As Ta-min hurried toward the meeting room, he formulated his next steps. He needed to buy time, just enough to get the truth to the right people before the shield destroyed billions of innocent refugees, and he needed to find a way to reach that ship in orbit where his family waited. The deception was getting deeper, but so too was his understanding of what was truly at stake. Ta-min entered the emergency meeting room to find General Yoon and the entire senior staff already seated. Major Ji-woo stood at the front, her tablet connected to the main display. She didn't look at Tamin as he took his seat. "Thank you for joining us, Commander Park," General Yoon said, his voice stern. "Major Jiwoo has brought some concerning information to my attention." Jiwoo tapped her tablet, and the shield schematics appeared on screen with certain sections highlighted in red. "These are the changes Commander Park made to the shield system last night. He created what appears to be a deliberate weak point in our defenses." The room fell silent. All eyes turned to Tamin. "It's not a weak point," Tamin said carefully. "It's a controlled access corridor that can be opened or closed as needed. And why would we need such a thing when facing an invasion?" General Yoon demanded. Tamin took a deep breath. He had hoped for more time, but his hand was being forced. "Because we may not be facing an invasion at all." He connected his own tablet to the display and showed them portions of Ju-Yun's research. "My wife discovered something months ago, a communication pattern from the Na'vi. She established preliminary contact before anyone knew they were approaching Earth." Murmurs filled the room. General Yoon leaned forward. "And you didn't report this?" "I only discovered it yesterday," Tamin admitted. "There's more. The Na'vi are refugees, not invaders. Their star system was destroyed. They're seeking asylum, not conquest." Jae-woo's eyes narrowed. "And you believe this based on your wife's unauthorized research?" Tamin hesitated, knowing his next words would change everything. "I believe it because the Na'vi told me directly." The room erupted in shocked voices. General Yoon slammed his hand on the table. "Explain yourself, Commander." "The Na'vi made contact with me," Tamin said. "There was no turning back now. They've been monitoring our preparations. They know the shield will destroy their fleet, not just repel it." "How exactly did they contact you?" Jiwoo pressed. Tamin's tablet chimed with an incoming message. The timing couldn't be worse. Without thinking, he glanced down at it. Jiwoo moved with surprising speed, snatching the tablet from his hands. Her eyes widened as she saw the message. Another communication from Sunho with a countdown timer showing how long until the main Na'vi fleet arrived. "You've been in contact with the enemy," she said, her voice hard. "And there's something else you're not telling us." General Yoon stood up. "Commander Park, I'm relieving you of duty effective immediately. Security, escort the commander to a holding cell until we can determine the extent of this breach." Two security officers moved toward Tamin. His mind raced. Everything was falling apart. "Wait," he said desperately. "There's something you need to know. My wife and daughter. The Na'vi have them." The room went still. Jiwoo's expression shifted from anger to shock. "They were taken 2 days ago," Tamin continued. "The Na'vi wanted me to completely sabotage the shield. Instead, I created a controlled entry point that would allow diplomatic contact while keeping Earth protected." General Yoon's face hardened. "So you compromised our security for your family?" "No," Tamin insisted. "I found a third option. One that could save both my family and billions of Na'vi civilians while keeping Earth safe. If we activate the shield as originally designed, we'll be committing genocide against refugees." Jiwoo studied the data on her screen. "The shield modifications are more complex than I initially thought," she admitted reluctantly. "He didn't create a weakness. He created a controlled gateway." General Yoon wasn't moved. "Your family situation is tragic, Commander, but it doesn't change the fact that you've been compromised. We'll proceed with the original shield deployment." "You can't," Tamin shouted, losing his composure. "You don't understand what's at stake." "Take him away," General Yoon ordered. As the security officers grabbed his arms, Tamin made a desperate decision. He twisted free, snatched a sidearm from one officer, and locked the meeting room door with his commander access code. "Nobody moves," he said, his voice shaking. He had never imagined pointing a weapon at his colleagues. "I need 5 minutes, just 5 minutes to show you the truth." He connected to the secure channel Sunho had provided. The Na'vi captain's face appeared on the main display for everyone to see. "Captain Sunho," Tamin said. My superiors need to hear the truth directly from you. Sun Ho looked surprised but quickly composed himself. Greetings, Earth military leaders. I am Captain Sun Ho of the Navy Diplomatic Corps. General Yoon stared in disbelief at the alien face. What is this? The truth, Tai Min said simply. Sun Ho spoke clearly. Our people are refugees. We seek sanctuary. Our advanced ships arrived first to establish contact. Unfortunately, some among our military leadership feared your response and took Commander Park's family to force cooperation. Show them, Tai Min demanded. The camera panned to reveal Ju Yun and Hae Yoon. Seeing them on the large screen, exposed to everyone in the room, Tai Min felt a wave of emotion. It's true, Ju Yun said. Everything they've told you is true. I've been learning their language, studying their history. They lost their home. They have nowhere else to go. Hae Yoon looked at the camera. Daddy, when are you coming to get us? The simple question from his daughter cut through the tension in the room. Tai Min lowered the weapon. General Yoon stared at the screen, then at Ta Min. How do we know this isn't a deception? Review my wife's research, Tai Min said. Examine the shield modifications. I've created a way for us to make first contact safely. We have 6 hours until their main fleet arrives. 6 hours to choose between war and peace. The room was silent. Ji Woo was the first to speak. Sir, I think we should at least consider what Commander Park is saying. As General Yoon struggled with the decision, alarm bells suddenly blared throughout the base. A lieutenant burst into the room. Sir, our defense satellites have detected multiple Earth vessels launching missiles toward the Navy advanced ship in orbit. Ta Min's blood ran cold. No. On the screen, Sun Ho looked up in alarm as alerts sounded on his ship too. The connection cut off abruptly. Who authorized that strike? General Yoon demanded. Global Security Council, sir. They detected the communication and made an executive decision. Ta Min stared at the blank screen where his family had been moments before. The breaking point had arrived. We have to stop those missiles, Ta Min said, his voice steady despite the chaos erupting around him. Emergency lights flashed as personnel rushed to their stations. My family is on that ship, and so is our best chance for peaceful contact. General Yoon was already on the secure line to the Global Security Council. This is General Yoon. Stand down the missile strike immediately. We have new information about the Navy vessel. Too late, came the reply. Missiles are locked on target. Impact in 8 minutes. Tai Min moved to the command console, his mind racing. The shield system. If I activate it now, in reverse polarity, it might deflect our own missiles. That's impossible, Ji Woo said. The shield was designed to face outward, not inward. Not impossible, Tai Min countered, already typing commands. Just never considered. I designed the core system. I can reconfigure it. General Yoon ended his call. The council won't budge. They believe this is our chance to strike first. He looked at Ta Min. Do what you can, Commander. You have my authorization. Ta Min's fingers flew across the keyboard, making adjustments to the shield's frequency and direction. The system wasn't designed for this purpose, but if he could reverse the polarity at the right moment. 5 minutes to impact, announced the automated system. I need a shuttle, Tai Min said, still working. Once I set this program running, someone needs to get up there. What are you planning? Ji Woo asked. The shield reversal might deflect the missiles, but it won't hold, and the Navy will see it as an attack. Someone needs to go up there and explain. Bring back my family, and hopefully bring Captain Sun Ho to speak directly to the council. General Yoon nodded slowly. A bold plan, Commander. But who would pilot such a mission? I will, Ta Min said, finishing the shield modifications. I got us into this. I need to see it through. 3 minutes to impact. Ta Min activated the reversed shield. The base hummed as power surged through the global network of emitters. On the main screen, a shimmering barrier began to form in the upper atmosphere. facing inward rather than outward. Shield reversal at 60% and climbing, Jiwoo reported. It might work. Prepare a shuttle, General Yoon ordered. Priority clearance for Commander Park. Taemin ran toward the hangar, Jiwoo at his side. The shield program will only hold for 20 minutes, he explained as they ran. After that, it reverts to standard configuration. Which means you have 20 minutes to reach that ship, explain our mistake, and convince them not to retaliate, Jiwoo said. Exactly. 1 minute to missile impact. Taemin strapped himself into the pilot's seat of the fastest shuttle they had. Jiwoo handed him a communication device. Direct link to the general. Good luck, Commander. The shuttle's engines roared to life as the hangar doors opened above him. Through the view screen, Taemin could see the faint shimmer of the reversed shield high above. Impact in 10 seconds. The shuttle shot upward, accelerating faster than safety protocols allowed. Taemin's body pressed hard against the seat as he pushed the engines to their limit. On his monitor, he watched as Earth's missiles struck the reversed shield. Most exploded on contact, their energy dissipated by the barrier. 2 broke through, but their trajectories were altered, sending them harmlessly into space. Missiles neutralized, came General Yoon's voice over the comm. Shield holding at 40% and dropping. You have 17 minutes, Commander. The shuttle broke through the atmosphere, the blackness of space spreading around him. Ahead, he could see the Navy ship, smaller than he had imagined, its silver hull reflecting Earth's glow. A warning light flashed on his console. The Navy ship had activated its defense systems. This is Commander Taemin Park of Earth. He broadcast on all frequencies. I come alone and unarmed. The missile attack was a mistake. Please let me board. For several tense moments, there was no response. Then a docking bay opened on the side of the Navy vessel. Taemin guided the shuttle inside, heart pounding as the bay doors closed behind him. The artificial gravity pulled at him as he landed. Armed Navy soldiers surrounded the shuttle as he emerged, their weapons trained on him. Captain Sun-ho stepped forward, his silver face unreadable. You have great courage, Commander Park. Or great desperation, Taemin replied. Where is my family? Before Sun-ho could answer, Ju Yun's voice called out. Taemin. She ran across the bay. Hae-yoon at her side. Taemin embraced them both, relief washing over him. The missiles, Sun-ho said. Was that Earth's answer to our request for asylum? No, Taemin said firmly, still holding his family. It was a mistake. Some of our leaders acted without full information. That's why I'm here. He turned to face the Navy captain. I need you to come back with me. Speak directly to our leaders. Show them what I've seen. Our main fleet arrives in 3 hours, Sun-ho said. If they are met with weapons. They won't be, Taemin promised. The shield has been modified to allow controlled entry. But I need your help to convince my people that yours come in peace. Sun-ho studied him, then nodded slowly. I will come. The return journey was tense but uneventful. Taemin's shuttle, now carrying his family and the Navy captain, was escorted back to Earth by General Yoon's personal security team. In the Global Security Council chamber, Sun-ho stood before Earth's leaders, his silver skin reflecting the lights. He spoke of his people's journey, their lost home, and their hope for a new beginning. Ju Yun stood beside him, translating cultural nuances that the universal translator missed. Hae-yoon, unaware of the historic moment, drew pictures of Earth and Navy children playing together. The vote was not unanimous, but it was decisive. Earth would welcome the Navy refugees, beginning with a small settlement in an uninhabited region. Over time, integration would expand as the two species learned from each other. As the Navy main fleet approached Earth the next day, they were met not with a shield of destruction but with a corridor of welcome. Earth's satellites broadcast a simple message in the Navy language. You are not alone anymore. Taemin, Ju Yun, and Hae-yoon watched from the observation deck as the first Navy ships began their carefully controlled descent. Was it worth it? Ju-Yun asked softly. All the risk. Ta-Min looked at his family, then at the ships carrying thousands of families just like his, people who had lost everything and now found hope. This is humanity's finest hour, he said, not because we saved them, but because in choosing compassion over fear, we saved ourselves.